Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show how to drain the liquid extract from the bottom of the TE3000 Extractor tank into the dryer tank. And normally this tank here, the TE3000 recovery tank, is placed in a freezer, and that creates a vacuum by condensing any vapor that goes into it from this tank, so that this one will continue to have a vacuum that will pull the liquid from this tank. But today I don't have the freezer here for demonstration purposes. It's pretty cool out here, so I hope it'll work, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to get to a point where it all equalizes in pressure and then stops. So what I'm going to do instead is I put a 3/8 inch safety quick disconnect, which won't open unless that nipple inside right there is depressed against this nipple. So since I'm going to put these together, both of those nipples are going to depress against each other, and then when I open this valve here, pressure will escape from here, which will simulate this cooling and condensing any vapors that go inside. So just imagine that this is in the freezer and it's condensing any vapors. It's going to work the same way. Alright, so let's look at the liquid inside of there. We can look through the sight glass, and you can see clearly that the butane inside is boiling, and we're at a pretty low state, about a 1/2 inch from the bottom, or actually right even with the bottom on the other side. You can see that. So now we're ready to drain that out. Alright, I've got a light shining inside of the tank so that you can see the drain hole right there. It's in the center of the tank. It's right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is this valve here, we're going to open it. It's opened. And then we're going to open this one. And when I do, this is going to start draining out. So watch the liquid drain through the drain hole. And when it slows down, see the liquid pool getting closer to the center? When it slows down, we're going to open the valve on the TE3000 recovery tank, but it doesn't look like we're going to have to. Just a little bump from the TE3000 recovery tank, and it'll go get the rest of that. There it goes. Alright, it's all empty. And then we'll close this valve first. Allow the liquid that's inside this line to flow into here. So it's okay to let it set for a minute or so. We can go ahead and close this valve and close the one. You notice that we borrowed a little bit of the vacuum from this tank, because this one heated up as this heated butane from here flowed into this, and it started to equalize its pressure by pushing back equally because the temperatures are the same. So we went ahead and took this cold tank, because it's about 55 degrees in this place, and then this had a little bit relative vacuum compared to the pressure that created in this one. So naturally it's going to equalize with this one, and some of the pressure is going to go from this tank to this one. If this was in the freezer, it would have done it super fast, maybe too fast. We don't want it to go that fast. So we borrowed a little bit of that at the last bit just to get that last few tablespoons out. We almost didn't even need to use it. So you saw how fast that drained into this. So now this hose has had a minute to drain out and drip through. We can take this line off. There's really nothing in there. These valves are all closed. This valve's closed. And so now we're going to disconnect this one. We got to close this first. And your line here, you can leave it connected, or you can go ahead and pull it off. So hold that for a second. this is the short line that was connected to the bottom of that tank. We're going to depress that nipple that's inside right there and let some of that pressure escape, and you'll see if there's really nothing in there. So if you have no pressure in this line, you know you allowed it enough time to drain out and you pulled it through without having any get stuck in the line. And if there's none stuck in the line, there's none stuck in the coupling, there's none stuck in the ball valve in the bottom of the TE3000 tank. So you got a clean pass transfer from here to there. And normally, like I said, this would be in the freezer, and you would be using the longer recovery line, you know, which is here, to connect this tank via this hose to this connection, and that's plenty of line to go up over a freezer and allow you to use the freezer to create the vacuum with this tank and pull that, acting as a secondary vacuum to pull any pressure out of this one so that this one can act as a vacuum tank as well to siphon from that one. So that's it.